Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Ski the Kingdom show. This is our podcast series aiming to give more coverage, more awareness and more exposure to all the great things going on within the UK Snowsports scene. This week's episode is all about summer skiing and the Glaciers, so let's get right into today's show. So first of all, we've got to apologise that this week's episode is a little bit later than usual. Will Tucker and myself were out in Zermatt, Switzerland last week, filming with the rest of the Summit Worldwide team ahead of the release of their new goggle, the Talisman. We'll get onto that a little bit later because there's some really exciting news. But first of all, let's catch up on what happened in the UK Snowsports scene this past week. So as always, there's really exciting things happening up in Scotland. And recently we saw the return of the Go Big or Go Home competition, this time at its Aberdeen venue. We'll put a link to the photo album from the event in the description below, and it just serves as a reminder for how strong the Scottish scene is right now. And when you see the features, you see the rails, the jumps, it's really no surprise that so many strong skiers and snowboarders are coming from Bearsden, coming from Aberdeen, and really making an impact on not only the UK snowsport scene, but also the world stage. We've been desperate to head up and check out the Scottish scene for many years now, and we couldn't be more excited to be heading up for the Planks Tour on the 1st of October at Bearsden, so I hope to see lots of you there and just seeing the potential that these slopes have to offer. Also this week we saw the release of round 3 of the Championship Ski and Snowboard edits, and as always there is far too much to mention, so we'll put all the links in the description below. If I had to pick one standout moment, for me I think it was Chris McCormack with the underflip 5 to back 2 out of the down rail at Bearsden. Go check it out now. That's the Bearsden versus Hemel match, and watch them all, you won't be disappointed. It's a really, really high standard this week. And getting back to the theme of summer skiing, lots of skiers from the UK have headed out to Zermatt, Switzerland over the past few weeks to train up on the Matterhorn Glacier up there. It's an incredible park. I'm sure you've seen it from the Glacier Days edits with Will Wesson, Eric Olsen and lots of the line travelling circus crew. And it was really cool to see such a big group of UK skiers out there and holding their own against skiers from France, from Austria, from Switzerland, from all these European countries. And it was just a really nice vibe as well. I guess we get to ski together lots in the UK, but to be out there and enjoying some sunshine, to be up at 4,000 metres skiing on the glacier was a really cool experience. We'll put in the description Tom Greenway's latest Instagram edit to show what he got up to out there, and also the edit from British Freeski camps. And it was really cool to see the progression during the week and guys coming on learning lots of new tricks. We won't spoil that for you now, I'll put it in the description so you can check it out there. But yeah, just a really good week and really exciting to see what the next few months hold in store for their skiers that have been out there training. So as we mentioned earlier in this episode, last week Will Tucker and myself were out filming in Zermatt alongside the rest of the Summit Worldwide goggle team. We had ski racer Francesca Lee, freestyle skiers Bradley Fry and Tom Greenway, and also Summit owner and team manager Simon Reddy out there organising the shoot. We were filming content ahead of the release of their new goggle, the Talisman, which is going to be launched through Kickstarter very, very soon, so keep an eye on all the Summit Worldwide pages and the Ski the Kingdom pages to get the full information on when this goggle is released. We all got to try it out during the week and collectively were super, super impressed just by how good this goggle is. It's hard to put into words until you try it. So definitely head down to the London Ski Show at the end of October. There'll be a Summit stand there. Check it out. It's definitely something you're going to want to consider for this winter because it really, really is an amazing goggle. It was an incredible filming trip, but it was also super, super hectic. And Will and I tried to find time to sit down during the week to do a 10-minute podcast. And we just about managed it. Literally 10 minutes before the taxi came to pick us up to take us to the airport for our flight home. So sorry there's a bit of an abrupt ending to this interview. But I caught up with Will, we sat down and we chatted about his experience skiing on the glaciers for these past few years, his thoughts, and just his advice to people looking to go out to do some summer skiing. Here's our interview. So we've been out in Zermatt this week, skiing up on the glacier for the last few days. How have you found it, Will? How's it been?
Well, it's one of those, if you're going to be in a place this beautiful, then you can't have anything but a smile on your face and feel lucky the whole time. And then that emotion is very much compounded by the quality of the experience on the skis as well. The jumps were amazingly well shaped considering how warm it's been apparently in the run up to coming here. We were really lucky to have a little bit of snow just before we arrived. Then we got 3 perfect bluebird days. Certainly had a bit of an agenda to tick through, like you say, with we were here to film something for Summit Worldwide, the goggle brand. And that led to the agenda kind of leading what we were doing a bit, but basically that means go and do your funnest tricks and the stuff you wanted to express, the styles you've been practicing a little bit. And I just couldn't complain in any way, shape or form. My life is as good as it's ever been right now. Yeah.
You're someone that skied a lot of glaciers as well. You've been all over Europe skiing glaciers. What have you found particularly interesting and exciting about Zermatt?
Well, it has to be said, it sounds like a cliche now, but if you just look at the Matterhorn once, it's so imposing, it's so iconic, it's so special that that adds a character and something totally different to the whole resort. In terms of skiing, it's up at 3,800 metres, so I suppose in the past I'd trained at Tux, which is always an amazing facility, and that the park has been great there over the years, but it's only at 3,300, 3,400 at the top, I think, so it ends up, those few hundred metres make quite a big difference when it comes to having good quality snow for jumping on. I guess it's pretty comparable from Saas-Fee. We're not that far away. It's just, again, beautiful place, beautiful culture, nice people, and very thankful to be here.
Speaking of people as well, it's been cool to see we're not the only people from the UK ski scene out here this week. There's been the big, this last 2 weeks, kind of British Freeski camps. Just lots of people out here skiing, people like Bradley Fried just out here skiing for themselves.
Yeah.
I think it really reminds us when we're kind of out here, I don't know about you, but kind of seeing how strong the talent is when you kind of see, I guess we see them skiing all the time in the UK domes and dry slopes, and then you take them up to the big mountain jumps here, and it just reminds you how strong skiers from the UK scene are right now. Kind of who's caught your eye this week? Who have you been particularly impressed by?
Loads of people in that park. Dean Harris is always, I feel like I try and steal style off that guy everywhere I can, because it just looks so relaxed when every move he makes on a rail. And his character, the whole attitude of the guy, he's a lovely dude, and he works hard, loves what he does, and it shines through in it. So you can see other people kind of gravitating towards him because he helps build people up. People want to ski a little bit like him. He's always going to talk to you and help you with that if you want to ski like that. And then obviously Tom Greenway's just seems to be on fire at the moment. In the last 2 years, he just started to get an eye on him because he was doing a few tricks that were interesting, and now all of a sudden there's dub combinations coming out of everywhere. Does like a cork 7/0 blunt. I think it's really nice to look at, and his rail games are still inspiring compared with mine, that's for sure. And then, as you say, Brad Fry's 12 years old, so he's amazing to watch for that backflip he did next to the rainbow the other day. I didn't learn to backflip until I was 18, 19, so the fact that he's that comfortable with it and can do it off a jump that wasn't built for jumping, it was built for hitting a rail, and he's just sending it like it's nothing. So he's a confident young man. Hopefully he's going to keep pushing forward. And then obviously Max Fry was out here as well, who's just been killing it on the rails lately, so it's fun to see him put some stars down. A lot of foreigners around, but I think the British people held their own, and we no way did everybody go like, oh look, there's some English people, they don't have any snow, you'd expect them to ski worse. Not the fact at all. So
nice. Do you think it's probably a reminder that obviously with our facilities and back in the UK, and obviously you're really close to Gloucester back home, which is really cool to be able to practice lots of tricks out in Gloucester all the time. How is it coming from, obviously you could have skied Gloucester all summer, but why have you kind of chosen, I know this isn't the first time you come out to Glaciers ski in the summer, why do you think people should choose to kind of spend a week or 2 weeks just getting away from the UK scene and having a little taste of something different?
Well, I think that's, for me, I always feel like I'm building blocks together when you're trying to progress your skiing. It's not like it goes in a straight line. You kind of put these pieces together ready to get somewhere to finally assemble and make the final product happen. So being able to train in Gloucester, it's only last Wednesday of every month at this time of year, but there's airbag sessions there, so I'm not losing that feel, that touch, but certainly it's not like I can really have that accuracy and the finer points of where the style is and how you're landing everything. So to come out here this time of year, obviously working in the canoeing industry as I do in the summer, it's quite a big gap for me from winter to winter. So this is going to put my feet on the ground so much better when I come into the season. I'm trying to get ready for FWQ, but I'm going to be super confident backflipping because I just spent a few days doing it here and training that. So it's invaluable in every way, shape and form. Skiing in the summer, maybe it's not for everyone because you're not that passionate about it, but I know a lot of people listening to this will be, and if you've got the opportunity to visit somewhere like Zermatt, then don't turn it down. Make sure it happens. You'll never regret it. You'll learn more than you could. Whilst I'm not going to talk the UK ski scene down, we just don't have jumps that big, and it's impossible to put two of them in a line at 4,000 metres in a glacier with a view like that. So UK skiing keeps me where I want to be, and Zermatt allows me to express where I am, I guess.
Nice.
Maybe.
I think you and I have both been super impressed by Zermatt this week, not only the park, but just the general experience, the Matterhorn view, everything like that, the lifestyle. Where other, you've seen loads of other glaciers, kind of what are some of your favourites and ones you recommend to friends that are looking to get glacier skiing?
Well, I've always got a soft spot for the whole Tyrol Valley, the Zillertal specifically, Tyrol region, the Zillertal Valley specifically. I kind of grew up a little bit skiing in Meyerhofen because my parents were ski instructors there when I was a little one. So Hintertux was only up the road, and if there were ever bad conditions in Meyerhofen, you'd always head to Hintertux. And yeah, it's up high. It tends to be very windy up there. Unfortunately, all the cable cars have to. But when you get good days there, the park crew there for years was absolutely amazing. I don't know if the money's there behind it as it used to be now. Seems to be the theme throughout summer skiing a little bit. But yeah, the Hintertux couldn't recommend, again, the culture, the atmosphere, the people there are always really friendly and lovely. And it's well set up in terms of just getting yourself from Innsbruck to there is like an hour and a half on a bus, no problem. And the hotels are really nicely set up around the lifts there. And other than that, I used to do quite a lot of race training, both in Teen, Saas-Fee, going back a lot of years now. And I've heard some bad things about the park in Teen this year. People saying they didn't love the lift in that, which is a shame. But Saas-Fee is famous for all the right reasons. It's absolutely beautiful place to be. Again, high mountain glaciers, really up towards 4,000 meters seems to be where we need to be now with global warming. The higher glaciers seem to be the place to be this last few years. So yeah.
Nice.
So the taxi is here, so we need to leave Zermatt right now.
Awesome. Thank you very much. It's a good game.
So thank you very much, Will, for squeezing in that interview right at the end of our trip. We sat down and had a talk, and Will was very keen to come back on and do a full interview sometime soon. He's someone who's had huge experience at lots of different parts of the UK snowsport scene, so at racing, freestyle, instructing, and is now getting into competitive freeriding and is pushing towards that this season. So he's got someone who's got a huge amount of experience and a really interesting story to tell, so I look forward to that soon. Thank you very much for listening to this week's episode of the Ski the Kingdom show. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any feedback or questions, please leave them in the comments below. Look forward to reading them. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.